Street Fighter 2, Guile. What can I say about Guile? What memories, what insight can I give you about Guile? Here, you want a story about Guile? When I grew up, we played Super Nintendo. And we played Sega Genesis. I had a Sega Genesis. My buddy had a Super Nintendo. My dad had a Super Nintendo. They were separate entities. I had to ask to play the Super Nintendo. And giving the same respect to me, even though I was a kid, if I was out playing like with my Joes or whatever and outside, my dad would come outside and he would say to me, "Hey, Bill, do you mind if I play Shining Force?" And he had to ask because it was my thing. It was my Sega Genesis. You know, that sounds like a small thing. But like, that set something in my mind about how respect works. All those years ago, that my dad had to come outside. He chose to come outside and have enough respect for me to say, "Hey, I bought the Sega, but can I play it?" Like, other parents that I have known, they don't ask. They're like, "I bought the thing." I remember that. That sticks in my head. But when we played on those systems, okay? When we played on those systems, this guy is a cheater. American Soldier Man cheats. He cheats. Not that everybody else in the game isn't automatically a cheat anyway, because if you remember playing those games on those old systems, they're all cheaters. It used to drive me crazy that Guile could be walking towards me. I would jump to do a jump kick, and all of a sudden, he would flash kick. He'd just flash kick. And I'd be like, "Ah," and I'd get hit. And then all of a sudden, I'd land on the ground, and I'd be like, "Hadouken!" And he'd be like, "Sonic Boom!" Immediately. He just landed. Like, I would hit the ground, he would be coming down, "Hadouken!" He goes, "Sonic Boom." And then I'm like, "Well, that's fine. You have to charge for 3 seconds walking backwards before you could shoot another one. I'm just going to follow it with another one and jump into you." So I'd be like, "Hadouken!" Immediately, half a second. The Hadouken has just this immediate second connected with his, and I'm immediately firing another Hadouken, and he's just like, "Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom." So I jump over it, and he's like, "Flash kick," and I'm like, "You can't do that! I can't. I know how your moves work, cheater." Like, he used to make me so mad. Like, he was the thing that made me realize games will cheat. Games don't have to follow the rules of the game. That was the first time I made that realization. I used to say to myself, "Well, I'm just not good enough. I got to get better. I got to learn the moves and kind of find the inputs and whatnot." No, that wasn't it at all. Because when I played against people couldn't do those things that the computer was doing because the computer would cheat. And the computer could see what you were doing. So it could react in inhuman response times to what you were doing with moves that made no sense, like when Blanca would do his cannonball thing while walking towards you. You can't do that. Any human player that plays Guile has to set up his attacks. He has to find ways to set you up. So he has to get you into the idea of jumping or whatever, and he kind of gets into a situation where he's kind of jumping, and then he's holding down before he ever hit the ground, and then you've got to jump another one to him, and then he does the flash kick because he's got the 2 to 3 second input, and then he hits up. Or same with, he has to get you falling. He has to come at you hard and come at you, and then you kind of get messed up, so then you want to pursue him. guarding isn't working for you, so you go all offensive, and he backs up all of a sudden. He's prepping to set a trap to get that sonic boom. That's a human player. The computer just does it. It's cheap. It just does what it wants to do. It's not right. It's bogus. And I did not know. I was still a kid. I did not know at the time that I was being cheated. Until him. He's the one that made me realize games cheat. And it wasn't just me being a sore loser. You're not fair. Let's open him. Boy, he was twisty-tied. Like, there was a lot of those little things in there. That was actually kind of excessive, if you want the truth of it. Like, there were way too many of these. Okay? Way too many of these. But here he is. Guile. Look, so let's go over it for a second. Right off the bat, the shirt has like an actual texture to it, which I'm actually very impressed with. That's actually crazy. And it feels kind of, how do I put this? Like the look of it feels real. It's tight in certain places and it kind of clings to his skin, but at the same time, it's loose like a shirt would be for this kind of body in general. The pants also have an interesting texture. It's different than the shirt, is what I'm trying to say. So, like, they went out of their way to make sure that this kind of felt different than the shirt does. And that's the level of detail that I've come to kind of expect from Jada that blows me away. Boots are solid and everything, as far as I can see. I don't think that we're going to... Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're gonna do no problem whatsoever in terms of posability, movability. Dude, Jada is just rocking it. This back doesn't go. Oh no, there we go. Up. Okay, so we got that. We can do that kick. Okay, he can do this kick. He can do it. He can cheat you, and he can do the kick whenever he wants to do it because he just gets to do it. Have absolutely no problem in terms of his arm. He can get a lot on there. We've got the tattoos, the American flags. America. Like, come on, dude. This guy's excessive. Like, is this what they thought? Like, when they were looking over here, is this how they seen us? Like, it's fine, though. This guy, you can't deny how cool Guile is. In fact, I fought with myself about this. I knew the green one was coming out. Player 1. And then I fought with myself as to, should I get him or should I wait for the blue shirt? Because, like, I do like the blue shirt. That's something that I've always kind of liked. But I did decide that I just wanted the player 1. Like, and I haven't bought a player 2 yet from this collection, and I don't think I'm going to. They have not caught me with the gimmick of different head, different effect yet. They almost got me with Chun-Li. I wanted that smiling face, and I want the hook and blast. But so far, I have not been able to get it because I'm not buying a player 2. I'm not doing it just for one head, especially as Jada's prices are increasing as we speak. So, yeah. This absolute ridiculous flat top hairstyle, fantastic. He's not going to have any problem looking all around. Look, he's a Jada figure, guys. This is what we expect. His other face is just really angry. Oh, and by the way, I have a feeling, I'm going to call it now. We got the victory faces on the player 2 characters. If we get an alternate color characters, like right now I think Chun-Li has a blue, a red, and a pink. I think. One of those 3 has the victory face, the smile. And she also gets the victory sign, the extra hand, and you're able to swap them. I'm curious if they do a third or fourth of these guys, will we get a defeated face? Like, you know, the bruised, bashed, bloody face. I'm really curious about that in general. Yeah, dude, you gotta hand it to Jada, man. They don't mess around. He comes with this hand. And this hand. You know what that hand is? You know why you got that hand? You have this hand specifically for that accessory. That is a comb. That is a comb so that he can put the comb in this hand and comb that fantastic dew. I gotta hand it to Jada, man. They know. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. That is unbelievable. That shows a level of love for the property that they are currently working on that is almost unmatched. Now, my Guile's foot is acting funny. And I'm not going to force it. Everything else is moving. Oh, well, it moves up. There we go. Okay. Never mind. Got it. I didn't want to, like, force it, though, because we just had that video where we talked about how that kind of happened to me. And I wasn't about to have it happen with... But so far... See, that's the other thing, too, about that video that I did talking about this. If you manipulate an action figure in the way that it's meant to be manipulated and it breaks, I see that as a quality control issue. Figures are made for posing, moving, photography, and quite frankly, play. Even as adults, I'm sitting here moving him around and doing flash kicks and everything. If he can't do that, he's a bad figure. Period. And he can, so that is not what I'm saying. You understand the argument completely. This guy's fantastic. He also comes with the Sonic Boom, which is fantastic. And because Jada just can't help but be fantastic, Jada also gives you the stand for the effect. So if you would like to have your Guile cheat, your Guile can also cheat. He can cheat because he has a Sonic Boom. And I'm curious if they do another one of him, will they give like an effect that clings to his foot and kind of wraps, you know what I'm talking about? Because that would be really cool. The last thing that I'm seeing here, we have to take the head because this is amazing. This, you got to give it up to Jada, man. Those are dog tags. Those are dog tags. I cannot believe that. Like, the fact that we get them at all is shocking. But the fact that we get them and they're done well and they're on an actual chain, that's unreal. Oh, I didn't want that head, sorry. I just want this head for right now. Dog tags. Like, dog tags. Dog tags that will move, that will lay, that will... That is unbelievable. Okay? That is a level of love, attention, detail that you simply... And I think maybe it's my age. Okay, guys? I'm willing to admit it. Okay? I'm 41. I'm willing to say that I remember how toys were very blatantly, and I played with a lot of toys. That was my favorite pastime, playing with my action figures. This was a dream. I got Street Fighter figures. They were G.I. Joes. They were passable. At best. They moved well enough and I played with them and I had them fight alongside the Joes and everything. They were not like this. They were not like this. They just weren't. To tell you that I'm passionate and love What I see when I put something on the shelf is an understatement. You might not, some people really might not get it. This small little thing here shows me just how far these things have come, and it almost vindicates how much time I spent playing a property like Street Fighter. Because if nobody else was doing it, this would have no purpose. They wouldn't be able to sell this and put this level of detail and admiration into it. When I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of people that played the games that I played necessarily. I grew up in an area where racing was a big thing. Very true, racing. And I was surrounded by 4 different garages that maintenanced and raced race cars. And a lot of the kids growing up, that's what they started doing. Like, they went down the road or up the road or whatever, and they kind of got involved with the different guys that were racing at the speedways, and like they would help do things like tune-ups and work on the car and do things like that. And I thought that was kind of cool, but like, I was into video games. I was into action figures. I was into art. I learned boxing and martial arts, and I did not have the outlet that I have today. That's part of the reason I'm on YouTube the way that I am, because it gives me a chance to connect with people that simply had those interests, and I did not have that outlet when I was growing up. Everybody was wrestling and racing. I was boxing in video games, comic books, superheroes, Conan the Barbarian. It wasn't a thing for me. I had like 2 people that I kind of shared interest with, but nowhere at the level that I was at. So, I love these. Jada is rocking it. I have yet to see a bad figure from them, and that is amazing. When we come across the first Jada figure that I go, oh, what were they thinking? That's going to be almost a monumental video at this point, because I haven't had a bad thing to say about him yet.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.